I'm Caitlin Manning and I'm going to do my lesson today. We're just going to do a run through. So pretend to be my students and we're going to learn some history. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to guess what we're going to learn about today based off of your pictures and your quote. And the quote is, "We have to save our earth because it is the only one we have." So put your thinking caps on and think of what we might be learning today. To start this lesson off, we are gonna have a card sort, and I'm not gonna tell you the two categories that you have to sort your cards out into. You have to guess. So that's where you have to be a critical thinker and look at your pictures and guess. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes to do that. And as you're doing that, I'm gonna walk around and ask you some questions about why you put the pictures where. So ready, set, go. Okay, class, was that card sort fun? Great, so now we are gonna talk about our objectives real quick. So the first thing is we are gonna learn how to explain and give examples of a natural resource and a man-made resource. And last, we're gonna know ways to protect our environment and protect our natural resources. Okay, so this is a short video that we're gonna watch that's gonna give you a quick way to tell the difference between a man-made and natural resource. But in short, I'll just tell you that natural stands for nature and man-made is made by a human or a woman or a man. So now we are gonna do a little activity, but first I wanna explain to you guys really what the difference between these two things are. So our world is full of stuff and it's full of things, and we need to know what these things are. We need to know what's around us and all the things, because if we look around this classroom, we have desks, we have paper, we have a clock, we have water to drink. So we need to know what these things are. So we're surrounded by stuff everywhere we go. So if it's something from nature, such as water or rocks or diamonds, it means that it has not been touched by people or it hasn't been changed by people. It is completely natural. So raise your hand and volunteer and tell me something that is natural in your home or in your community. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great one. Okay. So if something is man-made, what do you think it means? Hudson, what do you think it means? Okay, yeah. How about you, Kathy? Great answer. Yeah, so if it's man-made, it means it's created by humans, and they are the ones that made many things in this classroom. So we are about to do a quick little game. I'm going to draw your name out and you come to the board and tell me if you think this picture is natural or man-made. That's right. It is natural. And a fun fact is water makes up 75% of the earth. That's a lot of water. Okay? You think it's man-made? What makes you think that? Because they cut the wood? That's a good thought. The tools that they use are man-made, like a chainsaw, that would be man-made, but the wood itself is actually natural. And a fun fact is that Alaska has the most forest land. Alaska is way up here. This is still one of our states. This is the rest of the United States, and Alaska is way up here. So that is where most of our wood comes from. What about this, Sally? Right, man-made. Great job. And the first Converse tennis shoe was made in Massachusetts, this tiny little state shaped like a boot. It's crazy that something so big could come from a state so small. What about this one? Yep. They were invented in Italy in 400 BC. This That was a long time ago. That was way before now, way before any of our parents or grandparents were born. All right, so now it is time for you to explore the room. I'm going to give you 1 minute to get up and take notes of as many things that you see around this room that's either man-made or natural. And I want you to just abbreviate, and whoever has the most at the end gets to come up and share. On your mark, get set, explore. Okay, wasn't that fun? All right, so now we are going to read a book. We know that natural resources are not created by humans, so they don't last forever. So it is important that we preserve our natural resources and we make sure that we are taking good care of our earth. So we are going to read Look Out for Litter by Lisa Bullard. Okay, since this book is done, we're now going to give you a few minutes to look in your journals and write down and reflect what you have learned from this lesson or something that you've never learned. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. This is silent time. We're not talking or looking at our neighbors, so just really think about what you've learned so far. Okay, now close your journals and put them away. And I want you to get your cards out that you started with and face the front. And when I say go, you're going to sort your cards into 2 categories, natural and man-made. And at the end, I'm going to walk around and see what you guys put, okay? Go ahead and get started. Y'all did a great job on your card sort. I can tell that you have learned a lot in this lesson. But to go even further, I want you guys to make a flyer. So get out all of your craft supplies, your paper, your crayons, everything that you need, and we are going to make a flyer that explains how we're going to save our environment. So for example, you could say, turn your lights off to save energy and draw a picture of a light bulb. It's completely up to you. This is time to be creative. And so I'm going to give you guys about 20 minutes to work on that. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. And afterwards, we are going to look and see. We're going to go outside and inside our school, and we're going to collect litter. We're going to do our part in making a difference. And I hope that you can tell the difference now between a natural resource and a man-made resource, and look for ways in your community to make a difference in our world and to preserve our natural resources. I hope you enjoyed my lesson on natural and man-made resources, but now I just wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on some of the things that I did in my lesson and some of the planning that I did. So the 2 things that I incorporated that I learned from this course, actually 3 things, was I included a historical quote and a historical pictorial, and also we talked about service learning and how making a difference in our natural resources can be of service to our community. I worked with the ELLs and accommodated for them by including lots of pictures and lots of opportunities for them to talk with their peers in small group, in a turn and talk, and just with each other and individually. They had plenty of opportunities to take their time and process their thoughts. I addressed diversity by showing maps in different places in the country where things were found, and by asking them to turn and talk about things that they saw in their home and community that were these resources. I integrated literature by reading the book about saving our environment and our earth, and by letting them do a journal reflection that covered the writing. Art was covered by letting them create that flyer by themselves and be artistic with that. Science was covered by talking about all of the different natural resources and where they came from. I incorporated math by getting them to go and count as many objects around the room that they could find that was either a natural or man-made resource. And the PE was covered by just letting them get up and move around and go around the school to collect literature and do the scavenger hunt in the classroom. PE was included lots in this lesson. I really enjoyed planning this lesson and teaching it because I think that it is a lesson that is important, and I think that it's something that kids really need to learn about, is to save and preserve our natural resources and to take care of our earth. So I was careful to include lots of pictures and maps and let them move around, and lots of talking to keep the kids interested and engaged. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.